Now, throughout today, as mentioned, it is a packed programme, but it is specifically looking at the skills shortage across the entire freight industry. This time last year, we were looking at drivers, and we know that between the last 12 months, that has changed slightly. David Wells, our Chief Executive, will be taking you through exactly what has happened in the past 12 months at the beginning of our programme today.
It clearly is such a big issue facing our sector, and I'm delighted that you've taken the time to come and join us today. I'm also special thanks to Ray Ashworth and DAF Trucks for being our headline sponsor and for making the day possible.
The industry talks a lot to itself, but we don't talk enough to everybody else. It's getting the message across to the general public of how important the logistics industry is.
So I started my life off as an apprentice, a student apprentice with Leyland, and so I am living proof that there is a career in this industry and achieve what I have today.
Here it's been blue-collar worker wanting to work all hours God gives, send kid to university. That will get them a degree, that guarantees them a great job. It doesn't. We've really got to realise that apprenticeships are a key part of the future and the skill shortage of this country.
I think we're really up against it with this sixth form elitism mentality in schools, so I would really encourage FTA members to get on board with the schools programmes, open your doors, link, partner with lots of schools so that they have an understanding of what's on offer, all the different training and apprenticeship routes, so support that agenda.
Being here today is very much around collaboration, working together and actually at a grassroots level linking in with schools and raising awareness of this sector.
It often amazes people just how important logistics is to so many different activities in our economy, but Formula One racing is perhaps not the most obvious example. But Julie caught up with a former Formula One driver, Mark Blundell, last week, and he gave his views on how to attract, recruit and retain into that industry.
Moving freight around the world, for example, in the aviation sector and road haulage takes quite a lot of understanding. Engineering, you know, we are what we are today, and we drive actually some beautiful trucks on the road, and you know they're engineered and designed by some very clever people again. And you know, it's an industry that certainly the UK is led for many, many years. You know, I think everybody around the world looks at the UK as being a leader in engineering design, and you know, for me, I can sort of look at it and say thank you to many people because they've helped me be quite successful in what I've done as a career in motorsport.
I think that's what a lot of people don't realise with our industry, what we go through to make sure they've got food on the shelves or whatever they require when they require it. And that's something that we don't promote.
The important things are that actually there's a lot the industry itself can do to tackle this situation. And one of the biggest issues for me is the profile of the sector and the reputation of the sector. Let's face it, logistics is an amazing industry. I think most people think that the stuff arrives on their shelves by magic. Actually, we know the hard work that goes into achieving that and keeping the country running. And I think if the industry is better able to get that message across to people, I think it might be much better at attracting people into it.
Many of you will know that the government have decided that they're going to set a target of achieving 3 million apprenticeship starts by 2020.
This event that the FTA have put on today is really important because it's bringing logistics employers into a room and introducing them to the people who can make the system work for them. So I hope that everybody picks up with the Trailblazer. I hope that everybody contributes to the apprenticeships, because once you're levied from next year, you need to make sure that it works for you.
I think you guys should be really proud about the fact you're actually leading this debate around skills. And I was at the event last year as well, and I think there's a sort of openness in the industry. I think you're challenging yourself. So I think that's something that should be shouted about, the fact that you're at the forefront of the skills debate and your industry is providing opportunities for lots of people to work. So I think that's something that should be celebrated and you should be proud of it.
And the thing that really came out for me the whole day was it's about young people, it's about education, it's about getting into schools, and I think logistics work. I think that was a really good presentation because they're making it easy for us to do that, and we need to take that up. You know, grab the opportunity and get into schools.